Hey YouTubers, more Robb. Guys, got a video today on how to save time on YouTube. You know, I've been making videos on YouTube for 15 years. I make one a week at least. I've got over 1,100 videos, and I spend a lot of time on YouTube, and I think I spend hours every day. And I've decided I'm spending way too much time on YouTube, so I've come up with about a dozen different ways to save time. You know, if you only save a half an hour a day, that comes to about 183 hours a year. That's over 4.5 weeks of a work week, 40-hour week. So if you could just save a half an hour a day from these ideas, I think you'd save like 4 weeks of work. I think that's worth watching, like 6 minutes, don't you? So let's get started. By the way, I'm making a book on how to save time. I'm going to have more information at the end of the video where you could participate. Let's get started with the video though. First idea, I think most people already know, is increase your audio speed. If you're not aware of it, on the computers at the bottom of the screen, there's a little circle you can press. Also, if you're watching on a mobile device, your phone, you can just tap the video and a little ellipsis, 3 little dots will be here on this part of the screen. You can tap that and it'll give you a way to increase the speed up to 2 times. There's people from New York I watch, I can't really increase the speed on their videos, but there's other people I wish I go to 3. So you could save a lot of time by just doing that one thing alone. Now, another thing is I've been doing is, there's a podcast I listen to, Scott Adams, and I'll make sure I want to listen to it first. I go to the video description to see what he's talking about. If I like it, I'll have him playing on one video, and then I'll open up another video on my playlist, and I'll actually watch that. So I'm listening to him while watching another video. And there's some videos you can just watch, or you can also do this. You can turn on the closed caption. So you can be listening to another video and you could be watching another one, just reading what they're saying by using closed caption. Closed caption is really great. Let's say you're in line someplace on a bank or whatever, and you want to watch something. You don't want to have everyone else. It's rude to be playing something loud, but you can read it with closed caption. If you're in a meeting at work and you're not worried about getting fired, you can or maybe you want to get fired, you can just turn on a video and watch and read under closed caption. I think more and more creators need to use closed caption because so many people are doing it. Now, this is an excellent tip. I've been using this and it's helped me a lot. Does the title tell you everything you really need to know? Like if you're watching a nonfiction video, something help you, give you information about how to do something, fix something, whatever. Or maybe it's about a topic you're interested in, like let's say your vitamin D, your health nut, but you've been reading about it for years. Now there's another video that shows up, it's about vitamin D. Well, does the title give you information that you might believe that when you watch this video, you're going to have some new information you don't already know? Or let's say it's a political video where that website or the channel already leans toward a certain viewpoint that maybe agrees with you, and now they've got a latest topic on something that you kind of know what they're going to be saying. Do you need to watch the video? To look at the title. If you can look at the title and pretty much you know what they're going to be talking about, you don't really need to watch that video. Does the topic you're watching enhance, enable, or validate your values? Sometimes if you're watching something, like if it coincides with what your values are, even if you might be doing something else with your time, if these are my values: health, wealth, family, freedom. If I'm watching a video and it's going on along, maybe it's not as well done as I would, but it's about health that I can get something from, or wealth, or family, or freedom. But if it's about a tennis match, or if it's entertainment, or just it's something interesting, like how did the platypus develop in Australia, or how come they built airplanes in World War I a certain way? Like it doesn't coincide with my values. That has nothing to do with anything that's really important to me. And I've decided I want to spend more time watching videos that are important to me and that enhance, enable, or validate my values. So that is a big one. This really clears the deck for a lot of stuff I've been watching. You can still entertain yourself and watch stuff that doesn't, go with your values, but realize that's what you're doing. You're just wasting your time. You're enjoying yourself, but you're not really growing at all. This is a really good one. I found it works. If you see a video you like, save it to watch later. And then if a month's gone by and you haven't watched it, unless it's one of those that goes with your values, maybe you should just get rid of it. You weren't really going to watch it anyway. Another one is You know, a salesman, a really good salesman will qualify the person they're talking to, whether or not they want to actually spend time. And you can start doing, I haven't actually done this one, but if you start watching a video, you can qualify it like, would this be worth saving to your playlist? And you should have a playlist. And if it's not worth saving to your playlist, maybe it's not worth watching. Now, there are some videos on certain topics. There aren't any other videos about it, so maybe that's your only choice. So you got to bite the bullet and watch something that's really not that great. But there's a lot of times there's 100 other videos on the same topic. So why are you not watching the best one out there? So click off early. If it's not something that looks like it's worth even saving to your playlist, you know, maybe it's not worth your time watching it. Did you get at least one good idea? There's a lot of channels that I just stopped watching because if I read a book, if I tell myself if I got one good idea from a book, then you know what? It was worth my time, which is extremely valuable in reading that book. Well, if I'm watching a channel, and I'm not saying entertainment, or let's say there's a channel I like, that the person I'm invested in, and like there are people I watch now, or like there was a woman, what was her name? Jenna Marble. She was so hilarious and funny. She stopped making videos, but I never got any ideas from her videos. It was just entertainment. But if you're watching something that you're trying to benefit from, if you're not getting an idea, something really good from that video, and then you watch another one, the same thing, I don't think you should. At least I'm not going to continue watching. I've gotten kind of strict, and I don't watch hardly half as many channels I used to. Now, this is a big one. I've become kind of upset at the length of a lot of videos that are on YouTube now. They're like, I'm going to make strict rule, no more movie length non-movies. I'm tired of watching movie length videos about something that could probably be a paragraph on a blog page. I'm tired of marketers where you watch a video and like a third of it is this, they're marketing a book or a course or this or that. Or it's all about them. There's the video has been going for 10 minutes and they're still talking about themselves. And I thought this was about me. That's why I'm watching it. Also, the live streamers, I don't know. I mean, I was watching this video on health. It was about brain health. And they said, well, you know what? You could eat better. It's an hour and 20 minutes. You can eat better, different diet. You don't get hit in the head. You could take these micronutrients. You could do a couple other things that you could have written on a blog page. You know, have good genes. Like I have some control over that. There was like 5 things, and it was pretty much that was it. And that was an hour and 20 minutes. So I'm not watching any more live streams if I can help it. Now there are exceptions to long movies. Like obviously if it's a fiction movie, the entertainment, or if it's a really well done documentary. Or an exception would be lectures by recognized super experts in their field. There's a guy I watched the other day. He was talking on melatonin for an hour. He wrote a book on melatonin. He's been studying and researching melatonin for 40 years. He's like 85 years old and he's still as sharp as a tack. So yeah, you bet I watched him. And I was happy to have the experience an hour. It was 1.75 speed, but I watched the whole thing. So if it's not somebody who's a really super expert, I'm getting a lot of good information. Even those TED Talks, sometimes those people, they're just like, it's platitudes, and sometimes I'm not really, getting a lot of information. And, I might as well watch Sam Hyde, do you have to watch the video? Sometimes there are web pages or blogs that have information that are just as useful, if not more. I was wanting to fix a camera. I found a web page that had how to fix a specific camera, and there were photos taken at each step, and there was like 6 or 7 paragraphs about what was going on in that still photograph. And I could watch that, then go back to it if I had to start over again or whatever. Where the videos, I watched the videos and they were spending 3 minutes about talking about themselves or what they were going to be doing or this. I mean, I sometimes find that actual text on blog pages or web pages is more helpful than some of the videos. Don't get me wrong. I live for YouTube. I think YouTube is the best thing in the world, and you can find how to fix almost any problem. But sometimes a video isn't always the answer. Do not feed the trolls. A lot of people, including myself, used to get upset over trolls and spend time on them. You can cut out so much time by just blocking them or making them invisible so they don't even know they were blocked. Now, sometimes people who like are critical of your videos, those are helpful. You know, every business person gets everything they need to know from the customers. Everybody who makes videos or YouTube videos should get really everything they need to know from most of the time from the people who are watching their videos. They'll tell you what's wrong. So they're helpful. So, but if they're being nasty or mean or rude or just they're just unpleasant people, you don't have to put up with that. And don't spend your time either. Just, you can block them. Or YouTube did a wonderful thing where you can make them invisible, so they think they're writing to you and leaving nasty comments, and you no longer even see their comments. So don't waste your time on learn from negative comments, but don't get invested in starting fights with them. This has been very helpful to me. Set a timer when you start watching YouTube. And you should get out of your chair or bed, whatever you're using to watch YouTube anyway. So you should, do some exercise, not sit too long. But don't spend a lot of time. And then monitor how much time you're spending. And every computer comes with a timer. You can just set it and it'll go off, and you can realize how much time's gone and you spend a lot less time. So life is action. So use YouTube, or YouTube will use you. You benefit from it. And don't just sit there like a bump on a log and just be, a couch potato and watching YouTube all day. It's just, there's ways you can use YouTube a lot better. So I've become really interested in saving time. I'm starting a book. I'm about a third of the way through. I think I'm going to hopefully be finished by October. If you guys have any ideas about ways that you save time, if you send them to me in the video description or the comments, if I use any of them, I'm going to put your name in the book. So the title of my book is Your Life and Time, 365 Ways to Add More Time to Your Life. Hopefully be available October. So that's my plug. Now you can unsubscribe for me for wasting your time. Look at how much time you wasted watching that. Hope this was helpful to you guys. Robb, Homemade Life, put on new videos every week. Been doing it for 15 years, got over 1,000 videos and new stuff all the time. All right, guys, been fun. Hope to take care. See you out there.